If you've been hurt on the job in Massachusetts and your injuries prevent you from returning to work to earn your pay, you're probably wondering, when am I going to start receiving my weekly workers' compensation checks? And that's a valid concern for most people. Most of my clients or prospective clients that I speak with after they've been hurt on the job in Massachusetts often ask me, when am I going to receive my checks? And they're very stressed about this because they're injured, can't return to work, and they're not able to earn their pay. And they're very worried about how they're going to continue to pay their bills, whether that's their rent, mortgage, electric bill, phone bill, and the list goes on. So this is a very stressful situation for people, and they often want to know, when am I going to start receiving my checks so I can continue to support myself and my family? Well, in Massachusetts, there's a certain process that has to be completed before you start receiving your checks. And I'm going to go through this step by step in this video. Step 1. After you've been involved in a work accident, and your injuries prevent you from returning to work for 5 or more calendar days, you then become eligible for weekly disability benefits from workers' compensation. That's why it is very important to report your work accident and injuries right away to your employer, and to seek medical attention immediately, because it's going to be the medical records and disability notes from your doctor that's going to be crucial in determining whether you're going to start receiving your weekly checks. Now, just because you've been out for 5 or more days doesn't mean you're going to start receiving checks right away. That just means you become eligible for weekly disability benefits. Step 2. Once you've been out for 5 or more days, your employer then has the obligation to report your work accident and injuries to their workers' compensation insurance carrier. Again, that's why it's very important to make sure that you report your work accident and injuries to your employer right away. Step 3. Once your employer's workers' compensation insurance carrier receives notice that you've been hurt on the job and you're unable to return, they then have 14 days to either start sending you your weekly disability checks or to deny your claim. And if they deny your claim, they have to send you notice explaining reasons for the denial. If after all of these steps have been completed and you haven't received a check from workers' compensation, or they denied your claim sending you a form explaining the reasons for the denial, or they just ignored your claim and you've received no communication or correspondence from either your employer or workers' compensation, you then have a right to file a legal claim at the Massachusetts Department of Industrial Accidents, pursuing and seeking the disability benefits that you deserve. Now, generally speaking, you can't file a claim for at least 30 days from the first date of your disability. But if you've received a denial from the insurance company before that 30 days expires, you then have a right to file your legal claim. That's why I always recommend to my clients, and what you should do, is make sure you're prepared in case this happens. And by being prepared, what I mean is make sure you have copies of your report of your work accident to your employer, and also make sure you have your medical records and disability notes that document and memorialize that you were hurt at work and you can't return to earn your pay. These documents are going to be necessary in order to support your claim and file your claim at the Department of Industrial Accidents. I hope this information was helpful. If you've been hurt at work and you have any questions generally about a workers' compensation case or about when you're going to start receiving your checks, feel free to give me a call. I'm always happy to talk to people and explain the legal process and see how best I can help them.
If you were hurt at work in Massachusetts, experienced workers' comp attorney Chuck Pappas is here to help.